Hello everyone, my name is William Hatcher, and today I'm just going to talk to you about students in the digital age. Now recently I did a teacher survey to talk about technology in the classroom and kind of reflect on our experiences while teaching online. So if you didn't know, this past semester we were required to teach online, and it took us by surprise. We had very short notice, but we also had to learn to adapt quickly. So I thought it would be interesting to collect all the thoughts and opinions on the time online, kind of look at what we did before and what we did during, and see how we could maybe meet the two in the next semester. So what were some of the pros and cons, and how can we continue using some of the tools that we've spent time getting our students used to and practicing with? During our time online, we used a program called DingTalk. Now, DingTalk is a Chinese application that is used primarily for businesses. So it does have the messaging and meeting program kind of similar to Zoom. It does include a classroom function and a conference call function. One of the best parts about it is you're able to send very large files and whole folders for students and parents to download. It also comes with collaborative documents, presentations, whiteboards, and mind maps if you want students to work on things during, after, or before class. The last thing that's really helpful is that it does have read receipts, so you can check when students or parents have read messages or updates, and you can kind of get in touch with them if you see that there is an issue. So I decided to talk to some of my friends, and I asked them a few questions about what tools they used in the classroom for technology, and here are some of my findings. So they used things like Plickers, which is the picture up in the top right. We used tablets for online reading quizzes using the Accelerated Reader program, and of course PPTs and videos. There are not too many actually because there are a lack of resources and a stable internet at our school. So we did not use much technology before we had to go online, which meant that we had to get our kids used to some of these programs. So the second question was, what tools did we use when we were online? Well, Socrative, Kahoot, and Quizzes, all of the quizzing apps became very popular, just for a few reasons. There were a lot of online games that we learned to find, whether it's like a math game or a spelling one, especially with vocabulary development, that could be used as part of your teaching. Virtual field trips were popular, especially if they were related to the vocabulary of different ESL units. And there was also interactive whiteboards and mind maps built into the program, DingTalk. Now, the most used, I think, by many people were the first three, the quizzing apps. They gave good practice and good data, and it kind of broke up the class a little bit. But I also found that online games were very successful because you could play them during class, and it also offered kids after class practice. Now, why did we start using a lot of these tools? Well, the first one was definitely collecting data. We needed to have some sort of basis for our grades, but we also wanted to make sure the progress of our students checking in from time to time. I think also the technology tools are used to make class more enjoyable, especially in an online setting. Listening to a teacher talk for 40 minutes when you are 9, 10 years old is not very fun. So having some games and fun activities makes the class go by quicker. And like I said before, students can practice in the class, but also use it at home if they wish afterwards. Now, some of the positive uses of technology is obviously videos help enhance a topic and do a better job explaining and showing kids different concepts, whether it's in science or even in geography. We use them often. I think that it also provides some healthy competition between the classmates using some of these quizzing apps, and kind of grouping them in different teams always helps. I definitely think it was also great that they could use the tools to look up words, definitions, or pictures when they didn't know what the word meant. Now, some of the biggest issues that we had was overall internet connection, not only for the students, but also for the teachers. There are many times that the server was busy or there were issues with it. I think some other problems, if you don't have the support from the parents when you're using the new technology to kind of help you guide them, especially if there are questions at home, it's difficult. Obviously, there's always sound issues, whether it's two sounds, no sound, loud sounds, soft sounds. It always seemed like the sound was a problem. And I think another thing is just students turning off the cameras. There's no way around this sometimes, and it's hard to tell whether the students are there or engaged in the subject. Now, when I asked everyone why is technology important to use in the classroom, you can obviously provide more clarity for the student using videos or presentations. Listening is boring. Having something to watch and engage with is definitely more important. You can provide extensions for higher leveled students, whether that's a small project or extra videos or online materials, but you can also use technology to support the lower or developing students using apps. Now, I think using technology is great for building the students' independence, and it can also make student-centered activities within the classroom. And it also, having technology gives the teacher some time to observe and record more data. Now, this is an example of what I do in my classroom to get some data. I am more of a hands-on kind of person, but this could be adapted to online and all about MeBot. Now, you could do a single page activity where it's just kind of write your name and your class, but I like to kind of think that there could be another way. So if you see there's lots of vocabulary words on the outside that the students could be guided during an activity to fill in. If you look closer, you have to put squares in this section, circles in this section. What's your age? What's your grade? Triangles and squares. And create your name and robot number. The other one is kind of like you have to put together this first part and the second part, where you put in your goals or facts about you and some other information. So this just allows the teacher to get the student to know the students a little bit more, even kind of trace and keep track of their goals, and kind of find the facts about them that makes them unique. Just so when you talk to them, you have some more personal information that you can use. Now, why do we do activities like this? Well, it's a great check for understanding of vocabulary words, especially the very basic ones of shapes and colors. I think it also provides some outlets for individuality and creativity. And you can also see where there might be issues with this individuality or creativity where they don't know what to do. I think it also helps you get to know the students better. It can be provided as independent work so that you get to know if the students can do these things on their own, or if you set a deadline, whether they can meet the deadline. You could also adapt this for an online setting using some sort of tablet or phone to do the coloring or drawing as well. So overall, I think I've explained a lot of my opinions about technology. I am pretty old school. I do not use technology often, but when I do find it very purposeful to do, whether it's a video or some sort of game that will just help enhance or extend their learning. So I'm very happy to give my thoughts on this, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.